What's going on, everybody? This is Tobias. I am a 30-year-old knowledge and truth seeker from our beautifully colorful Colorado. And today we are going to be talking about the power of positive self-talk. Now, we all know what self-talk is, right? And it can either be positive or negative. But how does that actually affect who we are as individuals and how it affects ourselves, the other people around us, and how it generally affects us on a molecular level? So we're going to get into that. After that, I will share some techniques that I use personally to help keep myself in a positive state of mind and helps me feel good throughout the day, so that hopefully, you can start to apply those things and feel better and attract better things into your life as well. All right, so let's get into the science side of things first. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about the pseudoscience studies where they did tests on water to see how it would change its molecular structure by the words that it was being told. So, on one test, they had a cup of water that was being told loving things, like, I love you, you're beautiful, I'm so grateful to have you around, so on and so forth, right? And the other cup was getting negative things, you're not good at this, you're so mean, you're disrespectful, I don't like you, and all that stuff that doesn't make you feel very good. And obviously the cup that was shown love was at such a higher vibrational rate. Now, what does that really mean for us then? We're 80% water, and I feel like a lot of people really undermine this fact and just let it go. But I feel like it's very important for people to understand just what that looks like and how it affects them in their thinking, their body, in their mood, and how that just, in a way cripples them from their own self-love. Here's an example of that on an energetic level, right? Say you go to school and, somebody bullies you, they say something mean to you, and you feel that discomfort in your chest, right? You feel it in your stomach, you feel it in your chest, you feel offended, you feel hurt that this person would say something to you like that. On the other side, on the loving side, say I run up to the pretty girl over there and I just say, wow, the way you styled your hair really is making you shine today. And you see her entire being light up, you know what I mean? She's got a big old grin on her face. So there's the two spectrums that you have. Now, what I feel is really important here is asking yourself, where is a majority of my thoughts of how I think of me? Does it lean more towards the loving side, or does it lean more towards the negative side? And I think where a lot of people kind of get tripped up, because if I go up to you and ask you, hey, do you love yourself? Are you kind to yourself? Most people's general response to that is, well, yeah, of course I'm good to myself. Of course I love myself. But you gotta take a step back and honestly ask yourself, how much do I beat myself up about making a mistake? And, calling myself dumb or not being good towards yourself. Sometimes we don't even really think about it that much, but, saying you're not good at something, or that, you weren't a good person that day because you hurt somebody else. Even if it seems like, just a harmless comment to yourself, is actually taking away some of your ability to feel more love coming from yourself. And if that down talking to yourself becomes a habit, our subconscious mind actually gets trained to have that be our go-to response. So as we go about our day-to-day, sometimes we're not even really thinking too much about how conscious we actually are throughout the day, and then that negative go-to response just pops up instead of training yourself to have more love. And what I mean by when it doesn't seem harmless, just it doesn't seem like a harmless comment to yourself, that's actually not a good thing. It means that you've done enough negative self-talk to where your mind and body is actually comfortable in that space. If it feels like it's just a harmless comment, but that comment's not being nice to yourself, then it's going to be a little bit harder to actually reprogram yourself, because as you start saying those loving things to yourself, there's actually going to be a lot of resistance, because your subconscious is just going to say, wait, that is not what I'm used to hearing, and that's not what I've been used to operating out of, right? So it likes to throw up a wall there and just say, like, your body and mind will accept it, because you're trying to force the gate open, but it feels resistant because it's so used to being told otherwise. So the question then is, how do we make the shift from negative to more of a positive mind state, right? And I feel like this is one of the most important things that you could possibly get through to yourself in this process, is understanding that not all of your thoughts are just like your own, right? So we don't want to mistake mental activity for thinking. Your subconscious is kind of like an iTunes playlist, if you will, just for the sake of argument. If you set up a playlist and you hit repeat, it's going to play all the songs, and then it's going to go back to the top and start over. Your subconscious is just a memory bank of all of your experiences, all of all the people everything you've gone out and done up to this point in your life. It's all stored right there. Perfect memory of it. And it just gets replayed. Your subconscious just takes off and says, oh, we know this, we know that. We know this and we know that. We pick up more experiences as we go along, and then it starts adding to its memory bank. Now, our conscious mind is that intellectual side of us that, separates us from other animals. Our ability to discern, our ability to make our own choices and go which direction we want. What we want to do to start making that shift is actually step in with your conscious mind. This is a method that I use a lot. If I notice being any type of negative self-talk or a negative thought about a situation, it doesn't even have to be about you specifically, but if you have a negative thought about anything that you're dealing with, what you want to do is step in with your conscious mind and say to yourself, hey, that's not how I want to operate, and this is how I want to operate. And you tell it otherwise, because your subconscious mind is, for example, it's kind of like a puppy or a little kid. If you set your kid down in the kitchen and place a box of crayons 5 feet away from them, I'm sure it's only a matter of time before that box of crayons is open. They've drawn on the floors, on the counters, everything. And same thing with a puppy. Like, you feel like they're gonna be good for that 20 or 30 minutes. You just gotta run to the store real quick, and you'll be right back. Somehow, the toilet paper roll is dragged from the bedroom out to the living room. You don't even want to know how he got a hold of the box of stuff you had that seemed like it was out of reach, but now that's scattered. Your subconscious is just like that. It will essentially just take off without you. I'm sure a lot of you have experienced, you go to sleep, and when you wake up, you notice that your mind it takes off, and you start thinking about whatever it may be. You didn't even want to start thinking that. It just went off without you. So to make that shift closer to the positive that we want to get to, we step in with our subconscious mind. We tell ourselves that that's not how we want to operate. And then to reprogram what you've got going on there, you say positive affirmations. I am a good man. I am a kind and respectful person. I am blessed and highly favored. People enjoy my company just as much as I enjoy their company. Even if you don't feel good about it in that moment, you say it to yourself anyway. Because here's where a lot of people get tripped up. They You know, they say a positive affirmation to themselves like once or twice, and you know, they think it's all good. Well, if your subconscious mind is like a puppy, think of how many times you have to train a dog until he understands how to sit, how to go down, how to roll over, how to wait for your command, right? Well, your subconscious is the same way. You've got to repeat that information so many times until it starts to get what you want it to do. And that's really the goal and the secret to, you know, being in a more positive state. As you start telling yourself that those positive things more and more, you recondition your mind and body to feel good about that when it hears those good things. And then you actually just start feeling good. That whole fake it till you make it thing, that's kind of where that comes from. I feel like you just got to keep programming it into your mind until it's your reality. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope a lot of this information helps you guys out on your journey. If you like the content, please be sure to subscribe and click the notifications, because I will be releasing a lot more videos on topics like friendships, relationships, wealth, depression, things like that, things that have to do with the human mind and the body. Stay positive, have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.